Good afternoon, everyone. It's Cindy from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I have to tell you that a lot of my contemplation has begun with this idea of unity consciousness. And this is very much what I'm focused on these days. But as I was walking through the forest this morning, I was thinking, wow, I've actually thought that way, or a part of me has thought that way for many, many years of my life. Like, even since childhood, I remember, even though I was being brought up in a particular religious tradition, I always liked seeing what the similarities between different religions were. I was less interested in the differences, though I was aware of them, but I was very focused on, wow, this is the same and this says this, right? Which is so, to me, it's so interesting that in my soul's journey, I believe that this was part of my learning, my calling. And here I am many years later back at the same spot. So again, when I was growing up, I was more focused on what are the similarities between religions. Today, I focus much more on the term spirituality, which I believe is the core or the root of all religions. And when I think about this, it's again, spirituality has been around even before religious, secular traditions had arisen. And so my contemplation time this morning focused on the fact that I wonder where, I'll say, religions or the root of religions, how they viewed non-duality, because that's a term that we hear a lot these days, right? Or maybe you have. I certainly mention it in a few of my videos, so certainly look at non-duality. So I looked up what kind of things might come up onto my computer. And as you know, for me, things come up on my computer. So this came up on my computer. It says, what is non-duality in Christianity? It came up as a question. The answer, it is the peace that surpasses all human understanding. And I think all of us have heard this term, and certainly some of us are feeling this experience sometimes. So the peace that surpasses all human understanding, it is sometimes called non-dual awareness. This is just another term for union with God. It is the experience of mystics in the Christian tradition, and it is echoed in other spiritual traditions. It is the way, the truth, and the life that is Jesus Christ. So I so resonate with this. I really believe that saints and religious leaders of the past and currently religious leaders or spiritual leaders have this spiritual connection of this understanding. And this is the root understanding of most spiritual traditions, at least ones that I'm aware of. So in that, I came across a quotation, which again, this to me was so nice to see that in traditional Christianity, this was a very understood idea. And of course, as always, in every generation, there's only a few people that are really drawn to this awareness or for discovering more or seeking more about this awareness within ourselves. So I came across this quotation by Chinmayananda Saraswati, and this quotation says, "The spirit of Advaita is not to keep away from anything, but to keep in tune with everything." The spirit of Advaita is not to keep away from anything, but to keep in tune with everything. Now, in case you haven't heard the term Advaita terminology, no, I'll say Advaita training, Advaita awareness, how's that? Is very much based on non-duality. So this is about non-duality, is understanding that there's a difference between duality and non-duality. Now, what does that mean? So I actually found an answer for you because I thought someone out there is going to ask this question. The idea of non-dualism as monism is typically contrasted with dualism. With dualism defined as the view that the universe and the nature of existence consists of two realities, such as God and the world, or as God and the devil, or as the mind and matter, and so on, right? So things that are contrasted. So we might think of day and night, right? So things that have this duality is seen as two different events. And we know that while we're having day, someone else is having night in the world, right? So that sort of idea, so that's non-duality. So to be able to look beyond and see there's more to this, there's still day, another place, is non-duality thinking. When we think about God And man, we might feel that God is coming through man, and this would be non-duality, so that this is an energy that comes through our soul. That would be something that I believe, that there is something about this soul that is connected to divine energy that comes through. And Christianity believes this, Islam believes this, Judaism believes this. That's religious traditions. And of course, there's also this belief of good and bad, and there's evil and good, right? So there's these two dualities, and depending on which one you lean on most, and hopefully it's all good, right, is how you are judged. Now, we can all say in the spirit of spirituality, there's also this intention of working in good energies. And yet there is this overcoming judgment of not so good energies and recognizing that we have all of it within each of us. And that recognition of what is within me is within you allows me to judge myself and yourself less too. So this is the beauty of spirituality. And again, I find that Advaita is very pro non-duality, and this has been around for centuries from Vedic scriptures, but it's also something that's talked about much more today. So you will hear about terms like the direct path, and this is also non-duality thinking or experiencing, I'm going to say. And I would love for you to think today about, how does your mind think? Are you thinking about this is good, this is not good, this is right and this is not right, this is day and night, all of those things. Like, do you think about duality? When something absolutely not good is happening in your life, can you think about something good is happening in this time too? I was just speaking with a friend yesterday, and we were talking about investing, and we think about, when someone, wins really well in investing or loses, the opposite is happening for someone else too, right? So someone loses and someone gains. And this is this non-duality awareness of this is always happening in every aspect that we look at. Now, to be able to understand both aspects, it takes some clarity in the mind to have this non-dual processing. And I would love for you to see, are there things that you are a little bit more black and white? Are there things that you're a little bit more, yeah, both of these can happen? Oftentimes in relationships, we can understand this, right? This person did something not so good to me, but there's a reason that they did it. So that brings us into more understanding rather than judgment, right? So that moves us into a little bit more non-dual thinking. So today, I would love for you to think about that for 5 minutes after this video. And I wanted to finish with this beautiful writing that I came across, which is very much Advaita thinking. It's also non-dual thinking. It's also Zen thinking. So I'm going to share this because I thought it was beautiful. It says, don't debate the mind, negate it. That opinion that appeared, not me, not mine. That sense of lack that arose, not me, not mine. Those thoughts of dissatisfaction and unhappiness, not me, not mine. Those problems, those struggles, that suffering, not me, not mine. That fear, that desire, that worry, that frustration, not me, not mine. You are not the I your mind thinks you are. And I so hope you understand this. It's a deep thought, right? So this thought is all about you are the awareness that is aware of those feelings that you go through, the frustrations, the fears, the anxieties. You're also aware of the happiness, the joy, the accomplishments. But it's not you as human you. It's the higher you that is the awareness behind everything. So I leave you with that thought today. I hope you have a fantastic day ahead, and I hope you remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.